Hi, I'm Davy. I'm awesome. And welcome to Davy's Awesome Wrestling, where I review wrestling related things all from the perspective of a fan, not an insider. So last week, we had AEW All In. This week, AEW All Out from Chicago. We also had Payback. I'll get to that next week. The opening match for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. Dark Order's John Silver and Alex Reynolds versus Better Than You, baby. It was good. There was some drama in it, like when MJF was complaining that his neck still hurts from his match with Adam Cole, and Alex Reynolds decided to hit him in the back of the neck with a chair, causing him to be escorted out of ringside. So Adam Cole was all by himself, taking on both members of the Dark Order. Which is the only thing that made me go like, okay, maybe the title's going to change hands. But MJF refused to stay down. He came back to help Adam Cole defend the ROH Tag Team Championships. And eventually they did get their double clothesline and the win, retaining the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. However, MJF was noticeably hurt. But I will give this match a 3 out of 5. Yay! But before the next match could start, and before Better Than You, baby could officially get out of ringside, Samoa Joe came out, not wanting to wait any longer. A very disrespectful move, which MJF did not take very well as he attacked Samoa Joe. But MJF was hurt. Samoa Joe got him in a guillotine. Luckily for MJF, though, there were officials to break it up. And luckily for us, means that we might be getting an MJF-Samoa Joe feud going on. But now to our second match for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. Samoa Joe versus former television champion Shane Taylor. It was okay. Wasn't that much to it. Just kind of a standard match between two powerhouses. I mean, Shane Taylor, of course, put in some offense, but at no point did it seem like Samoa Joe was in any real danger of losing his championship. And he wasn't. Eventually, he got the Coquina Clutch onto Shane Taylor and got the win and retained his Ring of Honor Television Championship. Honestly, in this match, I was just more excited about the prospect of Samoa Joe and MJF for the AEW Championship, so much that I was kind of distracted with this match. But then again, like I said, it was just okay. I would give it a 2 out of 5. Yeah! And then finally, for an AEW Championship, the TNT Championship, Darby Allin challenged the actual champion, Luchasaurus. It was pretty good. You know, Darby Allin bled very early into the match. Luchasaurus was using the steel steps a lot, painfully. And it went until Christian Cage was on the outside, threatening Nick Wayne with a concerto, distracting Darby Allin so that Luchasaurus could get the win and retain the TNT Championship that Christian Cage is claiming that he's co-holder of. It's dumb. At least unlike with the Lay Cool thing they did before in WWE, the company's not acknowledging this, but whatever. The match itself, like I said, it was good, it was entertaining, enough to get a 3 out of 5. Yeah! And then, grudge match of Powerhouse Hobbs versus Miro. Surprisingly, it was a great match. I say surprisingly just because even though these two are two great wrestlers, usually when two big powerhouses like them have a match, it's not usually that great. It's usually better when one of these guys has a match against somebody smaller, more agile, that they can work off of. But these two worked off each other very well. It was awesome, it was hard-hitting, and we honestly didn't know which one was going to walk away the winner, and it was Miro after he got the game over onto Powerhouse Hobbs. After which, Hobbs offered his respect to Miro. But it was a trick. He was trying to beat up Miro, which led to the AEW debut of CJ Perry, formerly Lana in WWE, Miro's wife. Ultimately, like I said, this match was awesome. Finally kicked it up a notch in this pay-per-view. I would give it a 4 out of 5. Yay! Then for the TBS Championship, Ruby Soho versus Chris Statlander. This match was also really good. I mean, these two have great chemistry in the ring. They've had matches before. Of course, Ruby Soho pointing out that the matches they've had in the past, Ruby's won all of them. And this match, there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of drama, especially because we didn't know if her bringing up the fact that she's won every match meant that she was going to win or lose. Because it can go either way. And it ended when Ruby was going to do what the Outcasts do. She was going to spray the eyes of Chris Statlander, but Toni Storm came out and took the spray from Ruby. Toni Storm, who right now is, I guess, not in the Outcasts because her cheese has slid off her cracker. And it led to Chris Statlander getting the Sunday Night Fever onto Ruby Soho, getting the pin, and retaining her TBS championship. Like I said, great match. 4 out of 5. Yeah! And then a strap match between Ricky Starks and the returning Bryan Danielson, with the man who orchestrated the strap match, Ricky Steamboat, on commentary. It was a great match before it even started. As they were getting started, Ricky Starks refused to take the strap, instead laid a beating on Danielson, making him bleed before the match even started. And of course, once the match officially started, it was brutal, it was chaotic. It's a strap match. Of course it was going to be. And, of course, Big Bill at one point got involved. Ricky Steamboat came out from behind commentary to stop him, but Big Bill is a big guy, and Steamboat is 70 years old. But Bryan Danielson saved him, so he could go back to commentary. And then it ended when Bryan Danielson got the label lock onto Ricky Starks with the strap wrapped around Ricky Starks' throat, so that Ricky Starks passed out, not tapped out, which I like. That's a great way to end it. Not only did it give Bryan Danielson the win on his return, but that also makes Ricky Starks look powerful because he didn't tap out, he didn't quit, he passed out. I would give this one a 5 out of 5. Yeah! And then a tag team match. ROH Pure Champion Katsuyori Shibata and JPW Strong Champion Eddie Kingston versus ROH Champion Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. This match was meh. There was nothing special about it. It was just a tag team match. And the only point of the tag team match was to build up two rivalries, Katsuyori Shibata and Wheeler Yuta, Eddie Kingston, and Claudio Castagnoli. This match, in my opinion, should not have been on a pay-per-view. This match should have been on a Dynamite or a Collision or a Rampage or a weekly Ring of Honor show. One of those. It should not have taken up precious pay-per-view space. And even its ending was kind of lackluster, as Shibata had Wheeler Yuta in a sleeper hold, and really quickly Claudio Castagnoli got a European uppercut on Kingston and got a quick pin. Like, not even his finisher, just an uppercut, and it's over. Almost as if they were told, like, hey, your time's up, take it home. This is another one I would only give a 2 out of 5. Yeah! Then, the biggest grudge match on this card. Kenosuke Takeshita versus Kenny Omega. It was good. A lot of back and forth. Very hard hitting. The drama between these two that has been building up for a long time now, especially because Takeshita was a protege of Kenny Omega in DDT. Had a lot of big moves in it, like a avalanche blue thunder bomb that Takeshita did to Omega. Of course, Don Callis was on the outside. He tried to help, tried to slip Takeshita a screwdriver, but Kenny Omega put a stop to that. But then it ended when Takeshita got a running exposed knee onto Kenny Omega and got the pin. A clean victory. Yeah, I'm still not sure how I feel about this. I mean, on the one hand, Kenny Omega kind of needs a big win, considering this is now 3 big matches in a row he's lost. But Takeshita, they're still building up, and it's kind of good that they put him over. So, like I said, I'm not sure how I feel about the ending of this match, but the match overall, easily a 4 out of 5. Yeah! Then an 8-man tag. Bullet Club Gold versus the Young Bucks and FTR, who are now kind of sort of respecting each other. It was good. Had some good moments. Like in this match, we got a quadruple sharpshooter. But kind of like the tag match I talked about earlier, this felt like a match that did not belong on a pay-per-view, but rather one of the weekly episodes of Dynamite, Collision, or Rampage. Like, don't get me wrong, it was good. It was hard-hitting. Everybody in this match is a great wrestler, but it just felt pointless. And it ended when Jay White got the Blade Runner onto Cash Wheeler, and Colton Gunn quickly ran over and got the pin, winning the match for Bullet Club Gold, which I prefer because they're the actual 4-man team. But again, this match, in my opinion, I didn't care about it. There was no point to it. It had the tag team champions in it. Why weren't they just defending the titles against somebody? I don't know. But I would say it earned a 3 out of 5. Yeah! And then the main event for the AEW International Championship. Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. I gotta give it its due. It was a great match. Not only was it hard-hitting, it was probably the most hard-hitting match that we've ever seen Orange Cassidy in, and that is saying a lot. And this match was a Jon Moxley match, so you knew
there will be blood.
But most of it was Orange Cassidy's, who also bled pretty early in the match. But Orange Cassidy got his licks in too, like when he got the beach break onto Jon Moxley on the exposed concrete. But after a crazy match and 2 Death Riders from Jon Moxley got the win and became the new AEW International Champion. But again, this match doesn't bury Orange Cassidy. In fact, it speaks highly of him considering Jon Moxley had to be helped out of the ringside area by his friends. I'd give this one a 5 out of 5. Yeah! So AEW All Out 2023 overall was just okay. Most of these matches were not even announced until a week before the event, some even just a couple of days. There were 2 matches on the card that I really felt had no business being there. Like, they were clearly just filler matches. But one of them has the tag team champions in there, and yet they're not defending the tag team titles. They're in an 8-man tag. That means nothing. There was some good storytelling building up to future matches like MJF and Samoa Joe. I'm excited to see that, but that also bothers me too. I get that MJF and Adam Cole won the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships at All In, but why were they defending them a week later at All Out? The world champion is on the card. He should have been defending his championship. The Ring of Honor titles should be defended on Ring of Honor television. In fact, that's another thing that was kind of annoying about this, is the first 2 matches were not for AEW championships, they were for Ring of Honor championships. And yes, even though there was only a couple of 2s and a few 3s, there were a couple of 4s and a couple of 5s. Great matches, but sometimes a great match does not necessarily make a great event. Because again, nothing was built up that much, because for the last couple of months they've been building up for All In, and All Out was 1 week later. In fact, the main event of this pay-per-view was for a mid-card championship. That's kind of the same disappointment I used to feel when a WWE pay-per-view's main event was for the United States Championship. It's nothing against the title, but it's a mid-card title. It shouldn't be the main event. At least not on a pay-per-view. I mean, it's kind of cool that Jon Moxley won and everything, and it was a great match, but that should not have been the main event. The main event should have been for the World Championship, or at least the Women's World Championship. I could have accepted that one. But she was on the card, being Ruby Soho's manager. I think the big glaring problem is what a lot of us have been talking about ever since it was announced that All Out would be a week after All In. That is too close to another big pay-per-view. You can't have 2 big pay-per-views that close together. It doesn't work. With pay-per-views, they're big deals. You gotta take time and build them up properly. And none of this was built up properly. Even the matches that have been announced for like a month, like Powerhouse Hobbs versus Miro, wasn't really built up, just announced, and we're supposed to just accept that for no reason they're rivals. Some of the matches that were announced about a week ago, yes, they were long-standing rivalries, like Takeshita and Omega and Jon Moxley and Orange Cassidy. They've been feuding with each other for a while now, but we still need you to give us some time to actually anticipate the matches, and they didn't give us any time. Obviously, the Bryan Danielson return was exciting, and obviously that was to fill in for CM Punk, who got fired last week. But again, it was a good match, but the whole drama behind it was just kind of so-so. Which is kind of what I would say about the entire event. It was so-so. Which is not a good thing when you consider that they are touting All Out as being their biggest show of the year. Even though I think in the fans' minds, we kind of feel like Double or Nothing is their biggest show of the year. They talk about All Out as being their version of WrestleMania, then you got to promote it properly. I heard Tony Khan say he likes to build traditions, he likes to do All Out during Labor Day weekend, and All In he wants to do next year at the exact same time because it's a big weekend in the UK. But you know what? I think in the future you are going to have to accept that you just can't do 2 of them back to back like this, because you're going to build up one and take away from the other, which is exactly what happened. After All In being literally 1 week ago, you didn't give us time to really get that excited about All Out. And because of that, All Out wasn't that exciting. It was good. I recommend it. It's worth watching. But I wasn't that excited about it. I would only give All Out a 3 out of 5. Yeah! So there you have it. That's my wrestling review this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications for when I post new videos, and leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of AEW All Out 2023. Tell me if you agree that they need to space them out a little farther. Love you guys.